Hello, welcome back to my channel and to today's video, which is, as you can tell from the title, a really positive one because I have managed to get the job that I really wanted, and I am absolutely elated. Where to start? I'm pretty sure I've covered this in a previous video, but just in terms of background of what I've been doing is that for my university degree, my master's degree that I'm starting in September, through the first year of that, it's a split between paid work on a placement job and being in uni. So I'll be in uni 2 days a week and on placement 3 days a week. Now, because of how late in the year I was offered my place, the university, which is the London School of Architecture, put me straight onto their placement programme, which is where they send me a list of practices that I am to set up interviews with. So I interviewed all those practices, there were 6 in total, and then I let the uni know my order of rank from most preferred to least preferred, and the companies I've interviewed with, they feed back to the uni on who they would like to hire of the candidates that they've interviewed. So I did all of that, and the result was that I did get offered my top choice, which was not the job that I'm going to be doing, because aside from that, Lex, who is Bad Biscuit here on YouTube, I'm sure you know her, she asked a couple of her mates in London, and one of them, Belle, who, if you've seen any of Lex's London videos, you'll have seen her feature in them, and hello to Belle if you're watching this. Belle lives next door to an architect, and Belle asked this architect if they had any jobs going, and she said that I could send over my CV and portfolio to her, and I did that, and they got in touch and we arranged a date for an interview. So that was one of the interviews that I did in the London vlog that I posted last week. And yeah, I had that interview in person. I think I said in that video that I thought it had gone really well. Really great first impressions, really nice office. A bit about the company is that it's actually the biggest architecture firm in the world. Now, it depends on what scale you look at it through, because obviously there's a few competitors, but just for context, they employ 6,500 people. They have 53 offices worldwide, and the London office is their hub for Europe. Now, of those 6,500 people, 2,500 are architects, but they also have interior architects. They also have graphic designers, people that specialise in visualisation. So, you know, when you see the 3D rendered images that look really realistic, they have their own in-house lawyers, they have their own construction side and whatnot, and that all comes to 6,500 employees. And their annual turnover is £1.3 billion as a business. So yeah, came out of that interview feeling really positive, really liked it, thought it was an amazing opportunity. I sent a follow-up email the week after to see if there'd been any feedback, because they said they'd be in touch, and I got an email back from a lady in HR saying that the feedback from the people that interviewed me was really positive, and that it was now being reviewed by senior management, and she was waiting for a response from them. And the next day I got an email asking if I could do a Teams meeting, so online via webcam, with the studio director. So the London office, I believe, has 250 people working from it. But it's split into separate studios. So the studio, there's a director for each studio effectively, and the director of the studio in which I would potentially be working in wanted to speak to me himself, because he'd been on holiday at a time which I had the interview that I went down for in person. So I did that interview, and again, it went really well. I came away feeling positive. He was complimentary, and yeah, I I thought, it could still go either way, but I felt positive. And that was last Thursday, so the 3rd of August. I'm filming this the following Tuesday, so Tuesday before you're seeing this. And on Friday, the 4th of August, I got a phone call from them to say that they had really enjoyed meeting me and thought that I was an acceptable candidate. In fact, they said more than that, they were really complimentary, which was so lovely to hear, and they offered me the position. So also on Friday, I found out from my uni that through the placement process, I had been placed with this other firm, which, as I say, they were my top choice of the people I'd interviewed with, of the ones that LSA had set me up with. And I I gave myself the weekend to think about it and contemplate what I wanted to do. And I chose to go with the one that I have accepted. Because, well, there's a few different reasons. Obviously, the size and scale of the company is fantastic and a real opportunity there that I would not otherwise have. But the major factor is that the company that LSA placed me with, they're absolutely fantastic, and they're a residential company, so they do really high spec houses in Chelsea and Kensington in London for very wealthy clients. And as you may know, in my previous job, which I left in June, I was on the residential team. So obviously that aligned with my previous experience. However, the job that I've accepted, the team I'm going into is what they call repositioning. So it's taking existing buildings and transforming them into new spaces. So for example, there are a lot of redundant office blocks now, and a lot of them are getting turned into hotels or retail or apartments. And I just thought that that would be a really great experience to work on something, a kind of work that I've never worked on before, and get some different experience, so that moving forward through my career, I'll have a better idea of the kind of stuff I want to be doing. And I might do this job and decide I prefer residential work. You don't know, but I don't know until I try. Also, with obviously the crisis that we're facing as a planet with regard to global warming, sustainability, repositioning buildings into a new purpose is far more sustainable than doing a new build project. And the credentials of that, moving forward, are going to be really important to the future of architecture, because it is the way that the world is moving forward. We have so many buildings which have structural integrity that is absolutely sound, but and not maybe up to date in terms of the way they're fitted or their usage, that you don't need to demolish the building and rebuild it. You can keep what's there and work with it. And there's a big movement towards that, especially in cities, where you have so many, as I say, empty office blocks. So that was another fantastic opportunity. And the team that I'm in is the studio I'm in is 40 odd people. So that's not a dissimilar size to where I was working before. So it is actually quite manageable. It's not like you're just in an office with 250 people. It is broken down into a more granular format. And so, yeah, I had the weekend to think about it. Like I say, I was in Wales for the weekend. If you have me on Instagram, you might have seen my stories from that. It was a lovely trip. And that's when I made the decision to accept the offer with the big company that Bell, basically, Lex and Bell had set me up with. And yesterday I spoke to my uni first, just to make sure it was okay that I didn't attend my placement, that I didn't accept the one that they placed me with. And they were actually really happy, because a lot of practices have pulled out of the process, and it meant that actually there's still some students currently which don't have a placement to go to. So by me not taking that place, it's opened it up for another student, which is, obviously another positive. So I'd sorted that out. I emailed the architects that they had placed me with, because they'd already contacted me about next steps. So I sent them a really polite email back thanking them for their time and the opportunity, but just explained that I'd had a different opportunity that I was pursuing outside of the placement process. And then On my way down to London, because I was in London yesterday, I called the HR manager that I'd been dealing with at the job that I've accepted, to firstly ask her a few questions, because I'm only going to be working 3 days a week. Everything is prorated, so effectively they tell me what they'd be offering me if I was working 5 days a week, and then they work from that to calculate how much I get for 3 days a week. So things like the salary, holiday entitlement, all things like that. I had a few questions about that, and she cleared all that up. And so I said, yeah, based on that, I would be really happy to accept the job. And said, oh, that is amazing news. Welcome to the company, etc., etc. And yeah, so I now have a job to go to when I move down to London at the end of the month. Speaking of which, as I am filming this, I am waiting to hear back on a flat. I viewed it yesterday, that's why I was in London yesterday, and it's really lovely. It's a really nicely decorated flat. The furniture's really nice, it's a good size, it's in an area that is safe and I would want to be in, and the people who live there all seem really lovely. So I'm hoping that I get that. But if I don't, then I do have some more options that I'm pursuing at the moment. I've been in contact with a few different people that have some rooms available. So I'm really hoping that by the time this video goes live on Saturday, like I say, it's Tuesday now, that I will have also sorted out my accommodation, and then I'll be able to breathe and enjoy the rest of August, the rest of my time off, before I start on the 4th of September at uni and the 6th of September at work. And it was lovely yesterday. My viewing wasn't till 5:30 and I got down to London at 1. I'm lucky the town that I live near has direct trains to King's Cross that take less than 2 hours, which is fantastic. So I didn't want to go down for a few hours to do the viewing and come back. I decided to make more of a day of it. So I got the 11 o'clock train, got down there for 1. Obviously by the time I got there, I'd accepted this job. So I headed over to Brick Lane and I ended up treating myself to a nice new coat and a corduroy shirt as a celebration. I had a nice coffee, and then from Brick Lane it's only a 20-minute walk to the office that I'm going to work in. So I walked down there to just sort of have a look around the area, get my bearings with it. So that was really nice, and then I headed over to sort of Oxford Circus. And I had a look around Liberty, which was nice. And then I went for the viewing, which as I say was at 5:30. And then after that, I met a few of my mates. They're all mates from my undergraduate course when I was at Liverpool John Moores. One of them is from London. And the other two have sort of moved down there since we finished our degree. They've both been working in London over the last year or so. So I met the three of them and we went for a nice dinner at Franco Manca, which, if you've not heard of it, it's a pizza chain. It does really nice sourdough pizzas, and we had a couple of drinks and had a really good catch up. One of those friends I am going to be studying at LSA with, and I have another friend who wasn't there who was also going to be at LSA, so that's great. It's going to be 3 of us together. Once I had those dinner and drinks, and then headed off to get my train, which was at 8:30. Got back to the station at 10:30, was home just before 11. So yeah, it was a really busy day. And like I say, just waiting to hear back on this flat now, and if not, I need to pursue one of the other ones that I've been looking at. But I would really like the one that I viewed in person, so I'll be really chuffed if they offer me it. So yeah, I'll probably update you again when I've got everything sorted, got somewhere to live, got a move-in date, and I'm all good to go. But until then, this is my update for now. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I'm really excited about what is to come and the future. And no doubt I will see you all again soon with another upload. Take care.